Hello everyone, this is Jama Malmi and thanks for joining me today. I am working with a totally different medium than is typical for me. I've been watching a lot of videos using mixed media and I've been really drawn to it lately, so I decided to try my hand at it, and this is very new to me. But I am happy with the results. So I did a lot of playing around, which I guess is kind of typical for mixed media, but what I'm using as my kit is the Craft with Heart scrapbook subscription from Close to My Heart from March. And the layouts that come with that subscription are all 2-page layouts. But I just took one of the pages and I'm doing a 1-page layout. And I thought that this starburst background, which is already a pre-printed background, would be perfect for what I was trying to do. And the colors and everything went really well with this photo that I've been wanting to scrapbook. I'm usually a multi-photo scrapbooker, but I only had this one photo from this event, and those are our really good friends. And so I wanted to scrapbook this photo of the 4 of us without our kids out to brunch, and there were some other people with us but didn't get a photo of everybody. But the 4 of us are all really close and normally have all of our kids in tow, and so this was fun. So I'm using some of the papers that were provided in the kit, like that scalloped piece there in the lagoon. And then I added some tissue paper, which again is something new for me, but I've seen a lot of people doing it and I thought it added some nice texture. And then I'm adding some other paper from the same, what's it called? The same paper kit. And the name of it is escaping me at the moment. Hold on, it's right here. So Much Happy. I can't believe I forgot it. It's one of my favorite paper kits. So this layout kit coordinates with the So Much Happy paper pack and compliments, etc. So I used some of the paper from my paper pack. And then I also had my compliments close by as well, in case I wanted to add some of those, which I thought that I would, but I'm not sure that I did. And then I pulled in a whole bunch of other embellishments from my stash. Some of them were close to my heart, some of them weren't. So I was able to use a bunch of retired stuff that I've just been holding on to, and didn't use all of it, but a lot of it, which felt good because we all have that huge collection of stuff that we save for the perfect thing, right? and then we don't use it. So I was happy to use a lot of it. So you saw me layer all that up, and then I put some glue on the back, forgetting that I need to add the splatters to my base. So I used a few different types of mediums here. This was a, what do you call it? A gelato, the only gelato I own, and it's gold. And so I scribbled that onto the plastic, sprayed some water, and splattered that onto the bare paper. And it soaked into the paper, so I thought, well, I'm going to put some gesso down on the paper so that the splatters kind of can sit on top of it. And then I also wanted to have that kind of messy white painted look behind my photo. I thought that would look cool. So this is it's gesso from Faber-Castell, however you pronounce it. It just says gesso, design, memory, craft, and it's a matte white. So I just spread that with my palette knife, and then I'm wiping. So I did the gelato and kind of used the packaging technique to get it onto there. The gelato was still, or the gesso was still a little wet, so it kind of got on the paper or on the plastic. I decided to dry everything and move on to something other than the gelato. So now I'm using my ink pad to put some ink onto that plastic, use my water brush and splatter around. I really like how that worked out. And I have a million colors of ink, so that was a good go-to way to add some colorful splatters to my project. And then you see to the right, I pulled out a bunch of acrylic paint too, and I decided just to use black. So I did just a tiny little drop is all I needed of the black acrylic paint, a couple drops of water, and then I use a regular paintbrush to splatter. And I found some little black splatters all over everything. So I suggest if you do this, kind of cover things up that you don't want to get black on them. But I really like what that effect did. So I've got a really cool background to my scrapbook layout here. I let that dry overnight, and so now here I am back the next day, adding all of the layers of embellishments and detail that I'm going to add to the photo now. So I love embellishing. It's my favorite part of card making or scrapbooking, but I kind of take a long time to embellish because I am also a perfectionist. How many of you can relate? So you'll see me playing here a lot with all of the different elements and moving them around, and is this going to work? Is that going to work? Is this going to work here? And because of the nature of this type of layout and there being so many different embellishments all layered up and tucked under the photo and everything, it added so much more of that time and guessing and playing for me. So this actually took me quite a while to do, and I am going to be speeding it up more as we move on, but I just thought I would show you my whole process if you're interested, and see kind of my thought process in trying things out, see if I like it, moving it around, like that red kind of tag with the heart. I kept trying that multiple times in multiple places, trying to get it to work, and it just never did. So this is from the compliments pack. I thought that this would be a really cool element to add, the ampersand, because of the ampersand in the photo, but it just wasn't doing it for me. It was too big. It took too much of the focus away from the photo, and so I didn't use it, which is funny because I thought for sure when I pulled that out that I would use it, and I didn't like it. So I'm sure that happens to you guys quite a bit too, when you really think that you're going to use something and then you realize, no, it just doesn't go with the direction you went. So I pulled out some of the words from the compliments pack, and I put them on the edge of my desk to add later, so you can't see them in the frame now. These are some embellishments from a Project Life sticker pack, card chipboard pack, and I ended up just using that one. These are some retired compliments from the Prickly Pear compliments, and so I used a couple of those stickers at some point. Those flowers that you see right to the left, I pulled those out, but I ended up not using them. They were a little bit too dimensional for me. But my daughter was in the craft room with me as I was doing this, and she was decorating some cards and some other things, and so she came over and ended up using a few of them, which was fine with me because I've had them in my stash forever as well, and I'd rather her actually put use to them. So here I'm cutting a little banner that's gonna hang down from that top left, so that the eye could kind of have something else to draw it around the page. And so I'm going to play with some clustering up there in the top left. Now I'm in the bottom. Here's those Prickly Pear compliments again, and there were a couple of yellow stickers. They're supposed to be like kind of Cinco de Mayo banner type things, but I liked how they looked. The colors looked good, and so added those in a couple of spots. I should add that the flowers I'm using and the stars, those are all part of the Craft with Heart subscription kit. So the subscription kit comes with the base papers, any cut cardstock that you're going to need as photo backers. So that lagoon scalloped piece was a photo backer, and there were a couple of those for the layout, which I didn't follow. And then that mint on the top left, a little banner thing, that was a piece from a photo backer that I didn't use. And so I'm still using a lot of the elements from the kit, but just not in the way as they were designed, which is totally fine. One of the wonderful things about the Scrapbook subscription kits are you can put them together as planned, and as I like to call it, it's bonus scrapbooking. It's planned for you, it's pre-cut for you. You just have to glue it down and add your pictures. It's so easy, and it makes your layouts come together super quick. Or if you want to do, and I do that a lot, you've probably seen some of my process videos. If not, you can go check them out. Or you can use the kit for something like this, where you're using the elements and you know that they're all going to coordinate, but you kind of do your own thing, and it does still make it come together quicker because everything does coordinate. And you've got all of the stickers there already, and the die cuts cut, and some of the photo backer papers there. And so it does help make it come together quicker. That fancy script embellishment, which is a piece of wood veneer with silver glitter on top, is from, I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. And it's one of the, what's it called? I think it's a Heidi Swap. I can't find it at the moment, but I think it's one of the Heidi Swap embellishments. And it came with a few other words, but since we were at brunch and without kids, I thought that it was a fun element to add to the page, that we were all fancy. And this place that we went to for brunch was so cute. It's an Airstream, like one of those camper Airstreams that they converted to a little brunch spot, kind of like a food truck, but really upscale. Fancy food, a cute little table inside to eat at, and then they had a patio out front. You have to make reservations or you're not going to get in, and they serve mimosas and really interesting food. And so we did definitely feel very fancy at this brunch. And so I really liked that embellishment there. And those are little stickers that look like washi tape, so I was kind of trying those and see what I thought of those, and didn't like them. You see, I keep trying that red piece and it never makes it on the page, but it did come with the Craft with Heart kit, so I was trying it, but I just didn't like it. There's the prickly pear compliments again. And I did pull in some other kind of 3D flowers with a gem in the center that are really, really old and retired. I lifted that one up right there, that pink one. And I keep moving that one around. These white shapes are really old too. Feels good to be using this stuff that's been in my stash. So I added, let's see, I'm going to move that arrow, and then that other piece that I have there, I didn't want to waste half of it hiding underneath the photo, so I thought, well, I could cut it, but they're really thick enamel pieces, so I used my wire cutters to cut it, and it worked great. So now I have the other half to use. And so I thought that added some interesting dimension and texture to the layout with all the different texture that I have going on. I really liked doing this style of layout for a change because it does add, it it's a lot more embellishing and kind of creativity, I guess. It's just a different type of creativity than I normally do. And so I had a lot of fun with this. So now I'm adding some gems. I've got some silver glitter gems, I believe, and some regular sparkles that I'm adding around the page for some more fun texture and sparkle. Oh, these are silver glitter gems from the Berry Christmas pack, which is quite old. But we do have silver glitter gems still, just not in that pack. So now I have an alphabet stamp set pulled out, and I love this alphabet because it's very simple. It's this, let's see, I have it right here. Simply Said alphabet, and it's part of the Story by Stacy kits. It doesn't have to be though, it's available separately, but it's a really great just all-purpose alphabet set, so I love it. So I stamped in Archival Black, which is my favorite black to stamp in because it's a really dark, vivid black. It does stain your stamps though, so just kind of be aware of that. But now I'm adding my journaling, which is a little bit more prominent than I intended it to be, but I liked the look of them being on the white strips, and I'm going to kind of play around with the placement here. The photo trimmer, which I've used multiple times and pointed out multiple times, I am just obsessed with that thing. I used that to trim the little strips of my journaling, made it super easy. Also used my favorite journaling pen, and so I'm going to add those down in the corner. Again, that's probably my least favorite part of the layout is the journaling strips. I wish that it was just a little bit smaller, or that maybe I had written the journaling just right on the page. I just was afraid that it would get kind of lost. But I do still like how it ended up turning out. And then I decided I wanted a little bit more color, so I added some turquoise little enamel dots around the page to add a bit more color throughout because it didn't have enough color. So this is about it now. Thank you so much for watching me today. If you're interested in any of these products, I will link them below, and you can also check out my blog post for more still photos and details. Here I guess I'm adding a few more finishing touches and some close-ups of all of my embellishment clusters. It's just so fun. I really like this look for a change. So I'm going to leave you with some still shots here, and if you have any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. I do have a new and improved website, so I would love it if you would check it out. I will link this blog post below so you can check out the post and my new website and let me know what you think. You can shop close to my heart products at jamamalmy.ctmh.com. Thanks for visiting. Have a great day.